What's going on, guys? We're about to do a retaining wall for a customer. He's got existing concrete slab right here. Looks like you can see that it's raised up a little bit, and it looks like it needs a retaining wall. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a retaining wall all the way around this corner, and we're going to go to right where it starts to slope that way. And put it up to about right here. We're going to make it level with the concrete all the way around. So it's going to look really nice. And then we're going to backfill with some gravel and put some soil and then put some plants. But they want it 3 feet out. This is 3 foot right here. So what we're going to do first is we're going to mark it with the paint. We're just going to put this out and then just mark a little dot here. Just keep going down. That way it's all even all the way down. Once we mark everything, we'll just connect all the dots. We'll have it even all the way around. Then we have our line that we can dig on. There it is. Now we just got to get started digging. It's like a wood, yo. Got a dinger. Hitting dingers out here.
Straight through the fairway. Okay, Dan.
Good boy. Yeah, we're out here. We got to cut down the tiller. It's a little too loud for these golfers, so they can't really focus. So we got to cut it down for a second. We're getting this trench dug out pretty good though. We got them around here shortly. But it is a little bit of a delay. I don't want to be rude on the golf course and not have them play it at their best because of our loud noise. 4. The dingers. Dinger, 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 ring, dinger. Here comes the next guy. We got a 4-pack over here. 4 peeps. We're just dinging it out. Ding, 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 ding. What do you got? The big boy's gonna hit the 300 yarder. In the seat. Sliced it. All the way in the cut. Damn. We over here at Ohio Mulch. We're getting some topsoil and some 57 limestone to backfill that retaining wall. So he's over here. He's scooping the. Yes, sir. I just started a channel.
What's that?
I just started a YouTube channel on the landscaping. Lavish Lawns LLC. Check it out. You'll see it.
Oh, okay, on YouTube. I'll check it out.
Yeah.
I don't do social media or YouTube very often, but
You're gonna be a star now.
yeah, hell yeah.
Topsoil coming down. Like a little trailer, because the dump trailer had a bunch of crap in it, so it wasn't all the way full. So we're just gonna use this trailer. Hopefully it'll hold the weight, because we still got a whole ton of gravel to put on there. This one's not really ideal because it doesn't have sides on it, so it doesn't really hold it in too well. But for what we're doing, and we're not going that far, we should be in good shape. All right, we got the 57 limestone now. Got that gravel. Load it up. Hopefully we don't pop these tires with all this weight. It's only supposed to hold 7,000 total pounds, but I think we're going to be pushing the limit with all this stuff. There's a little trailer. 7x16, 7,000 pound weight limit. blocks set. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have it level with this concrete. It's gonna go level all the way around this whole edge. So once we get that first block set, then we'll be good to level off the ground. But the first block is probably the hardest block to get. We gotta tamp it all down, tamp all this base rock down, get all tamped down, and then to set the first block, what we're gonna have to do, you have to put this block down, and then you're gonna have to stack it up. And we're gonna do a capstone on this one, so you gotta put however many blocks, and then you put the capstone on the top, because the capstone is a different thickness than the other block, so you wanna make sure that you level it out with the capstone. So as we put these 3 blocks with the capstone on there, I can already tell right now, looking a little bit high. So looks like what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to take a little bit off. So now you got to take the blocks. That's why I say this is one of the hardest ones, because you got to keep putting blocks on, putting blocks off until. So you're gonna have to scrape off just a little bit. Just move a little bit of this stuff, get a little bit lower. Just kind of eyeball it a little bit. Get this thing leveled out just a hair. All right. Once you get a roundabout, then you can start working this bottom one and getting it nice and level. But mainly you just want to get pretty close to it. See if we money now. Still looking a little bit high. Looks like we're going to have to come a little bit lower again. See, that's what happens sometimes. Let's take them all off again. Try it again. One after another, one after another. That's this front part. Needs to come down. Alright, now let's see what we're working with now. I think we might be almost there. 3rd time's a charm. Let's see what we're working with. Make sure these are overlapping too, because they're offset a little bit. So if you have that back part on the top, it's going to be off. Alright, looks like the top might be level. Oh, now we got to come up a little bit. So yes, that's how it goes. Come up a little. We took too much off. Do it again. Try it again. 4th time the charm. Now we can add a little bit of sand to get to a little bit of this leveling sand. And this is a little bit easier to hammer down if you're a little bit off. But we're not too far off. A little bit of sand here, a little sprinkle here, a little sprinkle there. Little sprinklies. Shout out my boy Sprinkles. Alright, let's try this again. Back, I can already tell, probably already needs to come up a little bit more. Nice and level. Alright. Looking promising. Looking promising. There it is. Check the bow right here. Right in the middle. That right there is level as can be. Alright, so now we got the right height. Now we'll just go ahead and now we got this base, so now we're going to get the base right to where it's level all the way around. Now you can see how it's sloping this way, sloping that way. So now what we got to do is get this bottom one. We know it's the right height in the front, so now we just got to make sure we get this one level side to side and front to back. So just keep this side just like it is. And it looks like it needs to add a little bit more in the front, raise it up a little. There we go. Now we're pretty level right there. Hitting the hammer. Where's that hammer at? This hammer. Let's come up this here. Money. Money, money, money. All right, that's how you level it right there. All right, so now we got this first block leveled. So now we know that at this level right here, it's going to be perfectly level with the top of this, with the capstone. So now we just level off this one brick, so we don't have to keep stacking 3 or 4 high. So now what we do is we just get this next to this block. We can hammer it in, and then what we'll do is just take the level side to side, and that's pretty level, but it looks like it'll come down just a hair. Sometimes you can just hit it with the hammer, and sometimes that works. Sometimes you're gonna have to just get some of the sand, raise it up a little bit. You wanna make sure to hit it with the hammer though to seat it in. All right, now we're perfectly level right there. So you wanna make sure you level side to side and front to back. The upper level, let me just hit a little in the front, down a little. There we go, perfectly level front to back and side to side. Side to side level, front to back level, perfect. Now you just keep on going down the line. Kobe firing up the saw. We got to make a few cuts. You got to cut some in half. That way you keep it staggered. Keep the joint staggered. That way it has more strength, rigidity. He knows how to start this mud. Teach him how to start that. Turn the choke down. Yeah, now it's gonna bust. Okay then, boy. Sometimes you gotta teach the young bucks a thing or two. Tell them how to do it. Alright, we got a little bit of this wall put up. Got that first cut on the capstone right there. Looking alright. Coming around the corner right here. Now we're working on going down the straight line right here. Whenever you're doing a straight line, you're going to want to get the string line. But your eyes will lie to you. You'll think you're going straight. You're going wonky as hell. And we get one of these stakes that you put in like the edging and whatnot. Tie the string to the top. Put it right here at the edge. Right at the edge line. Wherever you want it to go straight. Hammer it in a little bit. And you just walk it on down. You just line it up where you want it to be, where you want the line to come. Is it straight? Is it straight? Right here is good. We're going to get it to this edge right here and start curbing as that hook right here. So we want to get it about right here. Looks like that first one a little bit off. Just put the stake in. Just wrap it around a million times around this thing and it'll stay in place. There we go. Alright, perfect. So now we'll just run the whole course along that line right there. That way everything's nice and straight. I think this one needs a
Slowly making progress on this retaining wall here. As you can see, we got some of the capstone on. We got some of the topsoil filled in. We also got some base rock down here to get the drainage right. Old boy over here, Chris, doing a little drop step. Wants to teach all the young cooks how to do a little drop in these pavers.
Yeah, anytime you want to do a drop step, you want to do half of a stone. That way you can keep the joints staggered. And what I like to do is just get it underneath here about the the same size of a block. So you can tell if it's the same size if you can put it right underneath it and it's real close to it. Just wiggle it in there. And what I like to do is just take the other block, the big block, make sure this gap on the back where it locks in is over the edge, because if you have it up here like this, then it's going to throw your level off. Make sure it's all the way back like that, and butt it right up against the side of it, and do your level from side to side. All right, looks like it's a little high on this side with the bubble, so we'll take this off, and we'll just hit it down with the hammer just a tad bit. Put this back up here. See, once you get the base level, then all of them just stack up. So you got to make sure you get the base right, or we're still a little bit high. So I like to hit it a little extra hard. Beat it into submission. Don't hit it too hard because you're gonna break it. Like so. All right, check it out again. Get in there. All right, a little bit more. Alright, perfectly level right there. Now you got to check the front to back. You got to do side to side and front to back. Looks like the back's a little bit high. We'll hit the back, make sure the back's in there real good. Alright, now we just got to put this back on. Check it again. Alright, now we're level front to back and side to side. That's how you do the drop step right there. Alright, we're making good progress on this wall right here. It's looking good. Got about, let's say, close to half of it done. Kobe's over here with the backfill, 57 limestone. Backfill on it with wait till you can fill the back of it with gravel. That way it has good drainage. So we fill it about, I'd say about 4 to 6 inches back, and fill it about half of the wall height. That way that as the water's draining out of here, it's not just sitting in the topsoil and pushing against a bunch of pressure against the wall. And that's going to help to have this wall last a lot longer and help it to not fall over time. So
Be back with some topsoil.
Kobe's going to be back with some topsoil. So basically what we do is we put the 57 limestone in there for the drainage. Then we put topsoil over top of it. That way we can plant whatever plants we want to plant in there. So it has proper drainage, but it still has the soil. That way you can plant the plants. But yeah, it's turned out pretty nice. So it's level with the concrete right there. The capstone coming out. It's going to go all the way around the corner there. I'll give you an update on how it looks here shortly. Trying not to make too much of a ruckus because we're right here on the golf course. Got people hitting off the tees right there. Alright, here Kobe comes back with some soil. First we put the gravel, then we put the soil right on top. We're just going to dump the soil straight down there, cover up the rock. That way we got plenty of soil in there, that way we can plant some plants. So the customer wants some grasses planted through here, so we're going to plant some grasses to give privacy. That way when they're sitting over here on their patio, they don't have to worry about, especially these golf balls from being on the golf course. They don't want the golf balls come flying over here and hit them. So give a little bit of a privacy barrier and a barrier from the golf balls. So he's just spreading it out. And we're going to plant everything. Once we plant everything, then we'll put some mulch over top of it. But yeah, the wall's turned out pretty nice right here. Looking pretty good. Got a few of the capstone cut over here. It lines up perfect with the patio over there. Yeah, we're all looking good.
We're finishing up this little retaining wall we're doing here on the golf course. We got some of this capstone in. We're doing some final cuts on the capstone. As you can see, we got some topsoil around. Finishing up this corner right here. We're doing a video. We're going to show you guys how to do this capstone, how to cut this capstone on the corner. My boy Chris over here want to show y'all how to get jiggy.
Alright, yep, we're just cutting the capstone basically around the corners. They don't fit perfectly, so they pretty much have this angle right here. So every single one has the exact same angle like this. So just depending on the radius of the curve, it might be different. So what you got to do is you guys have to line 2 of them up next to each other. What you got to do is make sure it's lined up with the edge, and then you go grab another one. Place this one right here on top so that it fills that gap right here. And then you want to make sure this front is lined up with the sides before you make the mark, because once you make that mark, that's gonna be how it's gonna go. So
Ain't no going back.
ain't no going back. You have to cut another block and waste block. We don't want waste block. That stuff costs a lot of money. So what I like to use one of these razor blades to mark it. You just score it with this, because what I used to do is I used to use those pens that are supposed to be for dust and everything else, but they seem like they run out really quickly. It's a waste of money, so just get one of these ones with already a dull blade and just get underneath here, score to underneath. Do it like 2 or 3 times, that way you make sure you got a nice good line on there. And hit the other side, get right up to the edge on it. That way it fits nice and snug in there. Make sure you go all the way front to back, because if you don't get all the way front to back, you might mess the angle up. So front to back, make it nice and scored. And then when you pull it up right here, you'll see there's a line here, line here. Those are the lines that we're going to cut, and it's going to fit perfectly in there. Just got to fire up this saw. We got the Stihl TS400. This thing will cut through anything. Fire her up.
Dusty.
Yeah, it gets a little bit dusty. You can, this saw has an attachment where you can hook a water hose to it. And if you hook the water hose, it'll keep the dust down. But who wants to drag out a hose and do all that, hook it all up? I'm sure the golfers would appreciate that if we did it. So we didn't dust them out, but do what we can do. All right, so now look. Now you just pop this sucker in. Bada bang, bada boom. Like a glove. So that's how you cut the capstone. Just do that all the way around. So now we'll do this next one real quick. Show you this one just in case you weren't paying attention. Go ahead and pop this one. This one will line up on the straightaways. You don't have to make any cuts. It's made to go straight. So on these straightaways, it's good. Pop that there. Here's the last cut right here. This is the last cut of the job. Then we just got to glue everything down. Glue the caps down. Get it lined up perfect. That's about right here where we want it. Gotta grab the handy dandy knife where we put it.
Behind it, right over here.
Chain. Yeah, real easy to lose your stuff. It'd be nice if I had like a little tool belt or something like that, but one of these days I might get hip to it. We'll see. Alright, we got scored again. It's underneath scored. Scored real nice. There's 2 lines right there. All right, let's hit it again.
Get the cutting, boy.
Any golfers out there? No golfers, so we good.
See none.
They don't like the noise, and they definitely don't like the dust. Watch them got glasses. Safety first, kids. Should fit like a glove. We'll see. In the sea. Give it a little wacky. Don't get tighter fit than that.
Yeah, she's snug.
Snug as a bug in a rug. how we do it.
Fresh curve right there, baby.
Looking good. Now we just gotta go ahead and glue everything down. Kobe gonna show you how to glue everything. Alright, we got Kobe over here. He's about to glue down these capstones. Just making sure to clean off any residue or any of the mulch or any soil that got on the stones. We'll make sure it's a nice clean surface. That way the glue adhesive will adhere. Take one off, put one on, take another one off, put another one on. So basically what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure that it's nice and even. I'm going to take one off so he can get that one in there. Make sure it's where you want it to be, because if it's not where you want it to be, it's going to be glued and it's going to be hard. You have to chip the glue back off and replace it. So you want to get it right. Now, when you're making the cuts and you're just placing them down, you got a little bit of leeway, so it doesn't have to be perfect, but once you put that glue on, it's going to have to be perfect. So make sure that you get everything how it's supposed to be. There he goes, gluing it down, a nice hefty bead on it. There we got plenty of surface area for these stones to adhere to. Press it down, nice good seal on it. Make sure everything's lined up perfectly. And then one after another, just keep on going down the row. That's how we do it. Surgical with it. Alright, we finished up right here with the retaining wall. Got all the blocks glued down. Looking pretty nice. Got the soil in there, the mulch, plants planted. Looking good, looking good. If you guys want more videos like this, like, comment, subscribe.